So we'll call up first Georgiana Woodhall.
Good evening. Realizing that I just have 5 minutes, I'm going to skip from this. This article was in the Tribune Review, Westmoreland, on Thursday, February 15th of 2018. I'm just going to read the title on the front page. Natural gas driller shakes up things with Trib, Huntley and Huntley. Shows reporters how it performs seismic tests across the region. Some residents have concerns. There has been some concern of residents of several communities regarding the testing, which officials say is safe. Monroeville and Oakmont placed rules on the practice last year. Some people have said workers from the company have trespassed on their property. One of the residents is Georgiana Woodhall, myself here, who lives on Route 130. The most recent incident was in January, but she said they trespassed in June. She wrote Geokinetics a letter then and filed an incident report with the police last month when her cousin spotted a man who they claim was on Woodhall's property. Doug Garrett, project manager for Cougar Land Services, said the worker was on the road's right-of-way. In my system, her property shows up, no permit, so we don't go on it, he said. Cougar Land Services was hired by Geokinetics to do permit work for the project. Paul Burke, Vice President and General Counsel for Huntley and Huntley, Inc., issued a statement regarding the alleged trespassing, which said in part, recognizing the concerns of the property owner, technicians have avoided accessing the right-of-way in that area since that time, and there are no plans to return for any reason. Garrett said the company does advance notification of projects through municipality and reaches out to landowners by phone, door hangers, that include notice of testing, a phone number people can call with questions or concerns. And there's an 800 number on here. I'm going to give this article, submit this. And I also, on Friday, between 4 and 5, I looked out my door and there was a man pounding down with an answer about 4 feet high, putting a, looked to be some sort of geophone across the street on the Haymaker Village side. He then crossed over, trespassed on the property, my cousin's property, along the mailbox area, crossed Forbes Road, went up to my corner lot. This corner lot where he was pounding down, when he, I'm sorry, he did, that was, let me go back. He crossed onto Forbes Road and headed down in a direction towards Trapper Commerce Park. I quickly got on the phone and I called the police. Told them that Geokinetics was trespassing and can they send an officer. This is the second time of trespassing. This is the second time an officer has come to my front door. And I just want to make it clear that I've looked over the settlement agreement. I have also looked over the seismic testing ordinance. I was never notified that they were going to go on to, had any intention of going on to my lot on Forbes Road. That property connects to the house in the middle of the driveway to that first house going up Haymaker. I went that evening and I went up and there was nothing on there. There was no geophone. There was no markings in the grass. So this had to occur after hours. When the police officer got her, and as I said, this is the second time that both police officers, the first and second time, both said, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know. There's nobody here. We don't see anybody. I don't see any truck in the parking lot. And also, they didn't know what a geophone was. Now, in your seismic testing ordinance and throughout these two documents, it specifically states that this group of individuals, Geokinetics, the people that they hire, Pathfinder was the first trespasser, are going to be working with the municipality in Monroeville. If you have two police officers come to your door and say they know nothing about any of this, and I guess I was a little rude when I said to the officer, when he said, I don't know anything about this, I don't know about Geokinetics or geophones, I said, well, you need to educate yourself. So I'm asking the members of council to educate our police department so that they know what's going on with this ordinance and with this agreement. I'm going to turn this in. I called Mr. Little. I asked him, I explained it, and I asked him to get in touch with Cougar. I don't know if you've done that or not.
Yeah, I called, not Cougar, I called Geokinetics.
Okay.
In the same, a month ago, the same thing, he said he was going to look into it and see who was out there on that Friday.
Okay, because, I have pictures that I obviously can't, some that I can't, I want them looked at by a third party, and I can assure you that these pictures are going to speak for themselves when I get them back, okay? And if there's a pimple on that man's face, all of Monroeville is going to know about it. And also, I'd just like to jump over to the fact that, and I'm only representing myself, okay, only going to rep myself as a member of the Planning Commission. I'm not here for anybody else. But I know that in the past that before Planning Commission meetings, and I know it's optional through the Municipal Planning Code, to post on a utility pole when there's some activity, when there's a rezoning going on. And I know that when these rezonings took place in the past, whether it was a big box, no matter what it was, that always there was a site plan, there was a stormwater management plan, there was a traffic plan, either for a big box or, and I can use one example, Haymaker Point. I mean, they came prepared. So you knew ahead of time what was going on. You could attend a Planning Commission meeting. But that's not the case. I've been hearing from Mr. Yugas that this is optional. We don't have to do that. But if you want to be transparent, I'm asking you to post it for the Planning Commission, at least on a poll, because it's fair to the residents, taxpayers. Thank you.